Tower Defense Simulator. The game has hundreds of towers. However, one category stands out from the rest: hardcore towers. Our first tower is Brawler. Brawler is an incredibly strong tower and is obtainable for 1,250 gems. Even though this tower is exceptionally good, it has one major flaw. It does not have hidden detection. This limits the tower heavily, as in Fallen it will not be able to get past wave 10. There is one simple solution to this. Just bring another tower like Golden or Normal Soldier to counter early hiddens. Brawler is also insanely good for all stages of the game, which makes it very versatile and probably one of the best towers ever to be added. Brawler also has pretty good crowd control, which is another reason it is ideal for Fallen, because Fallen just spams hordes of enemies. Now some people might say, why would I not just take any other tower that has hidden detection? My answer is, can your tower jump all around the map? Nah, I didn't think so. Well, Brawler can. Besides from speedrunning, this also makes the tower great for casual players, because you can easily catch leaks without selling and replacing towers. Just use the ability. Brawler can also be used as a sub DPS in the final wave. It can also beat Fallen King by itself if you use its ability properly and use all supports. This tower is literally forgotten after its nerf, because people think it's trash since it has no hidden detection. Which brings me onto my next point. This tower is underrated. This tower has literally everything a tower defense simulator tower needs: stun immunity, good damage, and great for the entire game. Everything but hidden detection. So you could technically call this tower a jack of all trades. I can comfortably say this tower is balanced because it is pretty good, but it not having hidden detection perfectly balances it. The tower should just stay like this. I give Brawler a 9 out of 10, and our next tower is Engineer. Engineer is a very strong tower, and costs 4,500 gems, which is equivalent to winning 15 hardcore games. Engineer is exceptionally good and literally has no downsides. It's also one of the best, if not the best, DPS tower in the game. The tower performs exceptionally well in all stages of the game, and in some cases is even good in early game. The tower can detect hiddens, flying enemies, and lead enemies, so it is insane for hardcore and Fallen. This makes the tower pretty much used by everyone for any game mode, since its DPS is unbelievable. Me personally, if I had just unlocked hardcore, I would just grind until I get Engineer, because by the time you have enough gems you would be level 60 anyways. Even though Engineer is level locked, there is no way you have 4,500 gems before being level 60, so there is really no point of this tower being level locked. Engineer is also an insane tower for speedrunning and casual, since in Molten it just spawn kills everything. It's practically used for everything and has everything a TDS tower needs: insane DPS, good range, decent price, sentry stun immunity, and detects everything. So this tower is literally the master of all trades. Even though this tower takes an arm and a leg to buy, I think it is worth it and is balanced well for the price. If Tower Defense Simulator were to nerf this tower, then they must decrease the price, because it would definitely not be worth the 4,500 gems. Overall, this tower is perfectly balanced, I think, and does not need a nerf nor a buff. I give Engineer a 10 out of 10, and our next tower is Accelerator. Accelerator was the first hardcore tower and literally dominated TD's DPS towers for like 3 years. However, due to recent balancing changes, this tower was overthrown by the Engineer. Even after a recent buff, the tower still cannot return to its former glory. Accelerator costs 2,500 gems and is pretty cheap compared to the Engineer, while still performing good. This tower is good considering it has lead and hidden detection, so it is also good for hardcore, but not very commonly used. It has very good crowd control since it deals a lot of damage and can change its target instantly. Though Accelerator is insanely good, the tower is heavily prone to stuns, and this limits it drastically. So if an enemy like the Warden stuns, then fast enemies can easily get by, making the Engineer a way better option unless you have medic, which is unlikely in solo matches. Even though I have only talked about pros, this tower has lots of cons. One major con of this tower is that it has an overcharge meter, which means that it can only do a certain amount of damage before it stops attacking and takes a break for like 10 seconds, no joke. However, due to the recent buff of Accelerator, it's not really an issue anymore, as the limit got increased and it fills up slower, while the Accelerator still does a heft amount of damage. Overall, I think the Accelerator is balanced after its recent buff, since the tower deals great DPS and has good range. I give Accelerator 8 out of 10. Overall, hardcore towers are definitely worth the grind, and almost everyone uses them, so yes, they are good.